Hello, hello. Welcome everyone to Tea with Trina. I am excited to be on with you for after a little bit of some time I had last week that I took off just because there was so much happening. And in order for me to get it all done, I had to take time to do it. Um, I am Trina, and I'm hopping on with you for another Tea with Trina to talk with you about shift changes and expansion. But before I get into that, I do want to share with you that my arm is getting better. I know I talked with a few folks about having an arm that I hurt a few weeks ago. It is getting better. I'm able to do my hair as best as I can now. Um, Previously, I couldn't do it at all by myself, so I needed someone to do it for me. But now I can, so I'm doing the best that I can. Bear with me. Um, and healing in my arm's getting better every day. But I wanted to hop on today to talk with you about shift changes and expansion. And I want to talk about this topic because it is something that we all are journeying through towards every day. And I'm not for sure if you have experienced a shift lately, or if you are in the midst of change, or if you feel that you are in the need or the moment of expansion. And I want to talk about this today and share this detail with you about shifts and changes that I'm going through um, and want to get into it deeply. So, one of the shifts that I'm facing is changes in what I thought I would be focusing on right now. And I want to talk about that because I had started out on a journey activating, doing things, and wanting to focus on and grow my reach in my business in a certain way. And all of a sudden, there was a shift for me in who was coming to me, who really wanted service, like the type of person and the type of service that they wanted. So I am now heavily engaged in offering sessions um, for clients, which I'm very grateful for. I've had onboarded probably 6 to 7 clients within the past week, and it's really good. And but just that shift and that change in that, and I'm really excited about this offering and what I'm putting out there, and helping people in their on their journey and in their next phase of being. So that's one shift that I'm going through, and the change to how I show up, where I'm showing up, and how I'm supporting people has taken place too. And I want to share what I'm having for tea. I'm having lemon ginger tea with lemon in it and some honey. That's what I'm having today. Mm, and it is so good. I think that's the best ginger honey lemon tea that I've had. Okay, it's really good. It's honey, a spoonful of honey. You saw the lemon wedge and some ginger, and it is absolutely lovely. Okay, so I'm gonna be getting into that today while we're talking. So I want to share with you too that you know I'm not for sure, and I mentioned this earlier. I don't know if you're in a moment of being pulled to step into something different or a bigger version of yourself or a bigger vision. I know I felt that way before everything shifted and changed for me. I was like, I'm so ready to do things differently, to show up in a different way and to serve in a different way. And another thing that comes into play when you're in this process or phase of wanting to step into something bigger is wanting um, a deeper alignment and wanting to step into something that feels like it fits a little bit more, right? And that's what I was feeling at the time. And I wanted more clarity about what was next for me. Um, and that's what I wanted to step into. And so I like when you're at the point of making a shift or making a change or stepping in expansion, some of these things come up, right? Of being pulled. in a certain direction or seeing a bigger vision, wanting deeper alignment, wanting more clarity around that next step. And I've been there. So I've gone through that. And then the shift came in for me. Um, and I want to talk about this too, because I don't know if there are a lot of people out there who may be being woken up at certain times throughout the night with the energy because you know you want to move into something next. There's a next level that's like for me, my mind goes and I have to take notes about what's all happening in my mind as far as what that next step looks like. And so I'm not for sure if you're feeling that inner nudge or something that's telling you that it's time to do things differently, or something that's saying that, oh, it's time for you to step into this phase of being, right? And what does that really look like for you? And when that is happening, when that nudge is taking place, it's an invitation for you to go ahead and say yes to that nudge, and then step into that shift, or lean into it. You know, there are choices that people have. We all have them every day where we can lean into something or we can ignore it. And generally, if you're ignoring a nudge or something that's coming up for you that's telling you that it's time to take this next step, you can become frustrated, confused, or get stuck. So if you're in a moment now where you're being nudged to show up differently, go ahead and take action, lean into it, and move into that shift and change because it's so important. Mhm. My goodness, this is so good. Okay, that tea is so good. All right. The next thing I want to talk about is changes. Um, changes in everyday life or from moment to moment. A lot of times there are changes that happen from the shift because the shift is leading to the change that needs to take place for you to step into that next phase or that bigger version of yourself or that bigger vision. And it could be something that's really big for you right now as the change or something that's unexpected, or something that you've been avoiding. For me, maybe it was a combination of the latter, something that I have been avoiding, but kind of unexpected. Um, and I say this in the way because it was something that I had done a long time ago, but just decided to go in a different direction of. Right. And then I thought, okay, well, I'll try a little bit of it now. But for a whole year, I'm going to tell you, things were moving so slow for me in that different direction that I had been testing out and trying. So it wasn't like I wasn't trying, I was doing it. Things had, though, taken a whole year of me working in it, but without the movement that I had been expected. And then all of a sudden, and I guess this is also one thing to think about, I want to kind of pin this here is that when the shift happens and when you have a nudge, it's important to take action and start to lay the groundwork, because your change doesn't happen on the timeline that you would expect always. Sometimes that change can happen a year later or a year and a half or 2 years later. And that's what happened for me. I started on a journey and I'll get into detail of what it is. I'm a trained therapist. And I started on a journey way back in 2007 of offering therapy. Yet I found myself enjoying life coaching and business coaching more. So I stepped into becoming a certified coach. And so I was um, doing coaching. Became a certified coach and coaching, and I still offer coaching, you all. And did coaching. I've been coaching for many years, right? And then in 2024, I decided that I was gonna go and no, it was 2023. I decided that I was gonna finish a couple classes or take a couple classes that I wanted to take master's level that would also refresh me on some skills in therapy and could be counted as classes for my licensure. So I did that. And then I decided to go ahead and start my pre-licensure process. Did that and started to take on, open myself up for clients, but it was just a little bit slow in the beginning, but I was still doing it, still working on it. And then all of a sudden now it's just like more and more clientele coming like in the now, which is great. And I recommend and I want to continue doing that. Um, and the thing for me is that this shift, this nudge for me to do this, I took action on it. It led to a change, right? Of an unexpected change for me, of onboarding more folks, and my business shifting, and going into a new direction. And due to that new direction, I'm also evolving as a person, right? And there are going to be some things that I used to do, you all, in my practice that are going to no longer fit, that I'm going to be moving away from. But the thing about it is, and I think for all of us to remember and note that the truth of the matter is change is not always comfortable, not at all, but it's necessary for us to elevate to our next level, right? And this next level I'm going to talk about is expansion. And before I get there, I do want to check and see if you all have any thoughts about what I'm sharing with you. Drop, if it's like that's right on. If it's a spot on, Trina, let me know it's spot on. If it's fire, drop a fire emoji, because this is what happens when you've stepped into that change, that next level, that necessary next level. This is where you are on your way to that expansion. I believe that that expansion is on the other side of that shift, of that change, right? Of maybe something you have been avoiding that now you're activating, or the unexpected, right? And this is when you begin to operate, or you have the opportunity to operate at a higher frequency, or a different frequency, a different vibrational energy. You get to shift and lean in and embrace what's happening, which allows you to expand, and you begin to see possibilities and also experience possibilities that you never saw before or experienced before. And you begin to align with the opportunities that were always there, right? Waiting for you to say yes to these things. And then that expansion happens. This expansion is happening, or it happens when you have done the work, right? You've stepped into the shift, you've allowed the change, you've walked into it. But what also it happens, this expansion happens due to the trust, to the trusting of yourself and of your being at these next level of experiences. Okay. So when you trust yourself, when you trust the process, you all trust the process, and trust what's unfolding, that what's in front of you, that expansion, that change, that shift, that goodness is happening for you. You have to remember that it's happening for you. It's supporting you through this journey. And so if you like have been connected to or impacted from what I'm sharing, I would love to hear from you. I want to know if you're in a season of change, if you're in a season of shift, if you're a season of expansion, and what's been coming up for you lately. I want you to drop your thoughts in the comment section and let me know, because what I'll be doing is when we're done today, I'll come back and I'll be reading and responding to the comments. And I'm offering this to you because if you know you need support in your next level of expansion, I want you to drop a teacup for me. Drop a teacup for me. Because what I'm offering now as well is a group process of having a monthly time with me, where we will have tea and we'll talk about the items and the things of that growth, of that expansion. What does that look like and how you can get there? So if you need help navigating to your next level of expansion, this is the process for you. And I want to invite you to it. It could be whatever you're activating and going to next: business, strategy, building your next phase of being in life. And you don't want to do it alone. I want you to get in touch with me. And so if this message resonated with you, be sure to like it, share it. You can give it some love, so more people can check in on this message. And also let me know what's coming up for you. And if you want to join me for a Tea with Trina monthly process, where I will help you step into your next level of expansion. So that is what I'm sharing with you today. Make sure you're paying attention to my page, because I'm going to be sharing a little bit more information about how you can join me there. But you can send me a message or a teacup and say, Trina, I want to step into that next level. And then we'll connect on what that looks like for you. So thank you for tuning in for this Tea with Trina. And I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. We'll talk soon.